guys, welcome back to your Not So Ordinary Scrapbook channel. Today I am going to record Friday's video. It's Wednesday, but today is the only day that I really can do it because tomorrow I have something that I have to do, and then Friday my granddaughter is spending the night, so I will probably want to spend most of my time with her and not be in here at all during that time. So I found my number stamps that I couldn't find the other day. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp them all because it's what makes sense. And then as I use them, I will cut them out. I think I'm going to use, I have this paper that has like, I think this is Heidi Swapp paper actually, because I think you're supposed to be able to ink it and things will show up. Like, let me see. Pretty sure. Yeah, let's just live that. So I'm thinking of just grabbing a piece of this and just stamping on it. I'm not going to color in the pieces. I think I might just use this spotted one, and the other one would work good. I don't know that I have another spotted one. I might have used it already. These are florals. I definitely want something where the stamp is going to show up. Well, that is that. I may have to use this one. I think that'll be enough. I don't think that'll be an issue other than that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with number 1. And then I'll show you the progress that I've made so far on my December daily. Now these are black because I used StazOn ink the last time I used these. So, and I didn't clean them off. But I think this red pigment ink will work fine anyways, even with the black on it. We'll see. So I'm just gonna actually could use my Sweet Petunia and that might work better, but that works pretty good. So there's one. And I think I'm just going to stick with red this entire time. I don't think that, I'm trying to use this up because this is some Close to My Heart ink that I had. And it's very, very old, so it's disintegrating. And I'm trying to use this stuff up so I can get rid of it and get some new ink, but I'm not going to get rid of it until it's completely unusable. So, okay, number 2, where are you? The lighting is really bad in here tonight. I'm just going to pull my light a little bit closer. This is number 3. Oh, this is 2. That's why I couldn't find it, because it's the word 2. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Number 2. You always want to make sure that you ink these really, really good before you stamp them. These are some pretty good stamps. I remember when I bought them for this intention to use in my December daily. Gosh, these are over 10 years old. But that was my intention in buying them, was so I could use them as number stamps for my December daily. Where did I put number 3? Oh, here's number 3. And it just kind of saves some money, so you don't have to buy number stickers every year or use all your numbers on your sticker pads, which I've done that too before. I don't use these every year. Last year I didn't use these because I had a cut apart sheet that had the December daily numbers on them. So today was just kind of like a home day. I didn't really do that much other than household things after Corbin left. Corbin has a really bad cold, and so he's been really, really fussy. And so I didn't leave him today to go exercise. Which is kind of for the best, because today was abs day for the app that I'm working on, and that would be really difficult to do at cardiac rehab anyway. There's not really a place to lay on the floor and do ab exercises, so it worked out fine. So I have a pretty busy weekend planned. We Esme spending the night on Friday night into Saturday, and I plan to take her to this brand new park that just opened up in our town. They put new playground equipment there. It actually was her dad's and well, my kids, her dad and Ethan's favorite park. We used to take them there all the time when they were little. It's not really close to our house, but it has always had this great big area that doesn't have any power lines around it, and it's just like there's no trees or anything. And I think there's one tree on the side, but it's like there's this great big open area that you can like fly kites and stuff. And so we used to go there and fly our kites, and the kids would play on there was a little playground area that the kids used to. My kids were really competitive at crossing the monkey bars. That was one of their favorite things to do, was to see how many times they could cross the monkey bars. So it had that, and that satisfied their little hearts and crossing the monkey bars. But that was always our favorite park because not a lot of kids played there, and it was always really quiet. It's in a really quiet neighborhood. And so I think I'm just going to stamp over next to that because I'll never line it up right again. So we're going to take her there. And then I'm hoping that my glasses are done on Friday. They said that they might be, or Saturday morning. And I need to get some groceries, either in Springfield or Bloomington. If my glasses are ready, we'll go to Springfield. If they're not, we'll go to Bloomington. So we have that planned on Saturday. And then I also have a CPR class that I have to attend for my job. It's a CPR and AED class. So I can be recertified in that because orientation day is the 23rd. So, and everything is good to go there. So I had to take a couple classes this past weekend to meet the requirements for DCFS, that I didn't have to take those 2 courses when I worked as a teacher at the child care center, but I did have to for this job. And one of them was, one was about like emergencies, like what to do if there's like a shooter or just all kinds of emergencies, not just that. What to do, fire or storms or different things, because you have to take the children different places depending on what the situation is. So I had to take that, and then like it's an online thing, and then you test at the end. And then I also had to redo my mandated reporter, because I thought I know I was a mandated reporter when I was a teacher at the child care center, but I don't remember taking a class for that. I didn't have a certificate saved on my computer, and I don't know if the strange thing is that when I took the course for the YMCA, it looked very, very familiar. Like the videos I had seen before that were in there. And so I'm thinking that I did take that when I was working at the child care center, but what is the next one? So I did 5. What's number 6? It's number 6. Yeah. But when I printed out the certificate, I gave it to the child care center, and I don't think that I saved it on my computer. Since then, I have saved all of my certificates that I have earned through DCFS on my computer, so I can just, I have a record of it. Should have done that before, but it honestly didn't cross my mind. So I did that. And then Sunday is Mother's Day. And I won't be seeing my mother on Mother's Day because she lives out of state. But my mother-in-law asked if we could have a cookout for Mother's Day. And so we're going to do that. But before the cookout, we have a graduation party to go to, because some friends of ours' daughter, Emma, is graduating from high school here in town. And so we we promised that we would go to her graduation party earlier in the day. So we're going to do that. So it's a pretty busy weekend. Scott mowed last weekend, so the lawn is fine. We normally only have to like mow once every 2 weeks, and we're not really that good at keeping up with it, to be honest. Or, well, I don't mow, but he's not very good at keeping up with it. Usually it's pretty long by the time he gets to it, but he's busy, and he's, you know, we're both run ragged pretty much most of the time because we have to watch Corbin during the day, and we're kind of like tag teaming because like when I'm sleeping, he takes care of Corbin, and when he's sleeping, I take care of Corbin. So it's kind of because I get up so early for my job that I am usually awake when Corbin, like last night, I didn't go to bed at all until after Corbin was here. Like at all. I was up all night until 5 a.m. because I was working on a project, then I had to work. By the time that got done, it was close to, like, I had to work on the project some more, so it was like 5 a.m. by the time I got done with the project. So then Scott was leaving to go pick up Corbin, and when he got back, I asked him, I'm like, can you watch him while I go to bed? Because I haven't even been to bed yet. And he said, yeah, that's fine. So I went to bed, and then like at 5 a.m. and then or a little after 5. And then I got up at 10:30, and then he went to bed. So that's kind of like how our morning went. And tomorrow I told him that he could sleep in and I would stay up. So it's like, it's kind of a tag team kind of situation. And we're both wiped out. Like, we are literally wiped out. We love Corbin, and I'm glad that we got this opportunity to watch him. You know, the way, like, Hunter and Ethan's grandma watched them when they were little. She didn't have the opportunity to watch Matt that often because Matt was older, and Matt was already in school when Barb watched the boys while I worked at the school. But she was their only babysitter. I never really had anybody else unless, you know, she couldn't do it. Then I'd have like some friends watch them or something. But my kids were never like in childcare or anything like that. Matt was when he was little. He went to a daycare and a preschool when he was little. But that was because Scott and I weren't married yet, so and I didn't really know anybody in the area because Matt and I had just moved here from Wisconsin, so. But the daycare center that he went to was right by where I worked, so it was really close for him to go there. And he went there for, well, until he started kindergarten. So he was 3, 4, and 5. So he went there for about 3 years. Or not quite 3. I guess he started kindergarten when he was 5. So, and then he did after school care and that kind of stuff. So my sister called the other night, and apparently my parents have big news that they haven't let out of the bag yet. But Hunter, when I told him, he's like, I called it. And I'm like, I know. We kind of all figured. But my sister Ann called and said that Mom and Dad had just left. They live in Arizona. My sister and her husband moved there from Wisconsin probably about 5 years ago. And then, of course, my son Matt and his wife Yesenia live there. And my mom grew up out west. She grew up in Las Vegas. So when she's out there, she says it feels like home. Me, I did not grow up out west. I was born out west, but I didn't grow up there, and I do not like it at all. I could never live out there. Only because it's very desolate. I know people think that the mountains are beautiful and everything. Flagstaff is beautiful. Sedona is beautiful. The Grand Canyon is beautiful. But where Matt and Yessie live in Lake Havasu City, it is not beautiful. It is very desolate. It's pure desert. It's just like Las Vegas. And I think that's why my mom likes it so much out there. But, so my sister called and said that Mom and Dad had just left and that Dad is having difficulty, walking. And, he's stubborn and he doesn't want to use his cane all that much unless he leaves the house. And he almost fell in the shower while he was there. And so my sister, who is a nurse, she got very concerned and she talked to Mom and Dad and, you know, and kind of said, like, what are you going to do? Because they live way out in the country in Missouri. And the closest town to them is tiny. There's not even a hospital there. Like, the closest hospital to them is like an hour and a half away. And dad is a veteran, so most of his appointments are in Kansas City, which is actually like 3 hours from where they live. And so I know when I was out visiting Matt, this, like, in April, the end of March and early April, I kind of got the inkling that Mom and Dad were kind of thinking about moving out there. But I didn't say anything, you know. I know my dad likes it out there. My mom definitely likes it out there. I mean, my dad was stationed out there in the Air Force. That's how my mom and dad met. So, I mean, he lived out in Las Vegas. My mom grew up in Las Vegas. It's, you know, they like that climate. They've lived in that climate before. So Anne said that Mom and Dad are going to put their house up for sale, which their house is paid for. So, the only thing is, and they have a beautiful house and beautiful land, and I don't know how long it'll take to sell because it's a pretty, I can only imagine how much that house will sell for, but much more than what they paid for it, for sure. But I asked my sister, I said, well, houses out in where they want to live by Matt and Yessie are ridiculously high. Like Matt and Yessie's house was over $300,000. I think they paid like $385,000 for their house. And that was like one of the cheapest houses in Arizona, in the area that they want to live in. I mean, Lake Havasu City is a tourist town, but the area that they wanted to live in and the type of house that they wanted, that's how much they paid for it. And that is like on the normal end of, or the high end of normal, or the low end of normal is what I'm trying to say. Because houses go all the way up to over $1 million in Lake Havasu City. So I don't think Mom and Dad are going to get that much from their house. I mean, I would be shocked if they did. But I don't think so, just because of the location that their house is in. It's out in the country and it's in a small community in Missouri. And people who live around there just don't, the cost of living is not very high there. And I don't think that they'll get even close to what Matt and Yessie paid for their house. But anyway, so I stay and I'm like, well, you know, how are Mom and Dad? Like, they're not really on a fixed income because, you know, they definitely are set for life. And like when they sell their house, they're going to have all the money from that house, the sale, because like I said, they own it fully. But I asked Ann what they plan to do, and Ann said that they plan to rent a house. That is because they're both up in age, and with my dad's health declining, and it's been declining over the past 5 years or so. I just don't want that responsibility. And Mom either. I mean, Mom isn't in the best health either, so she has all kinds of heart problems. So I think it's for the best. I'm happy for them that they're moving. They will be really far away from me, but I fly out there like a few times a year to see Matt and Yessie. I think it'll be nice for my granddaughter when she's born, you know, to get a chance to know her great grandparents. So that's neat that they'll be around, you know, to watch her grow, because I won't see her as much as my parents will see them. So it's just that they're going to be so far away. So, and I asked what my brother was going to do, because my brother has always kind of lived around where my Mom and Dad live. He lives on his own, of course. He's fully capable of living on his own, and but his daughters, he has 2 daughters, and both of them live out west. His ex-wife lives in Las Vegas, actually. And one of his daughters is in college in northern Las Vegas. And then his other daughter, Madison, she lives in Arizona. So I'm not sure where in Arizona, but so I mean, it would make sense that there's nothing holding him in Missouri. I mean, the only person that's really in Missouri that is my Aunt Verna, and she's in a nursing home. And she can't see very well because she has macular degeneration. She's basically blind. So, you know, she can talk on the phone, and we talk to her on the phone and stuff like that. And, you know, I'll probably go down and visit her every once in a while just because I love spending time with her, and she has told me that I can stay. She lives in assisted living, so she doesn't really live in the nursing home part. So she can have guests overnight and stuff like that. So, and we'll try to go visit her a few times, but she's in her 90s. So she's getting up there. So, and my dad, she is my dad's aunt. So she's my great aunt. And my dad found out that he has macular degeneration too. So it's a hereditary thing. That the rest of the family is going to have to watch out for, I guess. But I'm excited for them and their new adventure. I mean, my mom is 70. My mom actually isn't all that old. She was 17 when she had me. So, she is still she's in her mid or not quite mid. I don't know. She's almost in her mid 70s. My dad's in his late 70s. So, but like I said, their health is not the best, neither one of them. So it's good for them to be around family. My sister and her family moved to Oklahoma, and then like my brother, who currently lives one town over, but you know, the only thing is, you know, the only way we're going to be able to see them is to fly out there. I know that you can drive out there. That's how Matt got out there to begin with, is he drove. But I think that it's quite a trip. I think it takes a couple days to drive out there. I mean, I wouldn't be against driving out there, but the wear and tear that puts on your vehicle, I guess you would have to like figure out what's worth it. You know, we have some friends who always rent a car whenever they travel, just because then they're not putting miles on their vehicle. But then, you know, you're spending that much money for a rental vehicle. And, you know, you might as well fly, I suppose. But, I don't know. Next weekend, I am going on a girls' weekend with my friend. I think I mentioned that in the last video. My friend and one of her sisters, her daughter-in-law, and a couple friends from work. So, but we are going to Kentucky for the weekend, and we are kayaking in a mountain. So it's going to be, or a cave, I guess. I guess it's not a mountain, it's a cave. So we're going to each have our own kayak, and we're going to go kayaking in a cave. So I'm not sure how long that excursion is, but I am assuming that it's pretty intense because of the fact that it costs $75 to go on this kayaking journey. So I'm assuming that it's got to be somewhat substantial. But I think it'll be fun. I know we're planning on going hiking, and I'm not exactly sure everything that we're going to be doing. But I know that we're staying in like this cabin in the woods Airbnb that we all chipped in for. So there's all kinds of bedrooms and stuff. So it'll be fun to get away, especially right before I start, working at the Y. I'll still have to bring my laptop with me, and I'll still have to work at night while I am on the trip, but I'll just have to bring everything with me. And I don't have to drive because Angie is driving, so that saves a lot. I don't think my car would make it, to be honest. I need to get a different one someday. But I sure like not having a car payment. So I was really tempted when I started at the child care center. And I even test drove a car, and there's something wrong with it. Like, there was this big chip out of the door, and I noticed it when I pulled back in, and they wanted an awful lot for it. They wanted like $23,000 for this car. It was a 2017, but it had just a big chip in the door, and I showed her it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that actually happened in our parking lot." And I'm like, yeah, sure it did, And so I was trying to get her to go lower because of the chip, and she wouldn't budge. And she's like, "Oh no, this is the lowest that we can go on this vehicle," and all this stuff. And I'm like, and I was kind of in a hurry because I had to go get Ethan, and I'm like, well, let me think about it. And I never went back. I'm like, because like something told me like, okay, do you really want to make a car payment on a vehicle that has a chip out of the door and you don't know how the chip got there? And, $23,000 is an awful lot of money for a car. I'd be paying on it for the next, 4 or 5 years. So I'm like, I don't know. So I'm still debating whether I just want to save up the money to buy a vehicle, like a nice vehicle, like a $7,000 or $8,000 vehicle, outright, and not have a car payment. Because I'm really glad that I didn't buy that car, or even keep looking for a car at that time, because like not even a week later was when I quit working at the child care center, and I would have been stuck with a car payment, like had I like been hasty, and decided, oh, I'm gonna buy a new car, because my car runs, it's fine, it's just old. It's, I mean, it's not that old, it's a 2010, but it's, it's still, I mean, it's not a brand new vehicle. And it's a Navigator, so it's big and chunky like a Suburban. So, and it's expensive to fix. That's another reason why I want to get a different vehicle, is because it's so expensive whenever there's something wrong with it. But, I mean, the body is in good shape, and, I mean, the interior is in excellent shape. I don't have any problems with, like, everything is really solid on it. It's just a big expense. Like, even the windshield wipers, every time, I've had to replace the windshield wipers twice on the Navigator. And each time I do, I have to take it to the dealership because nowhere else in town, you can't just buy the windshield wipers. You have to special order them. And they have to put them on because it's got like these rivets that so people can't do it themselves. And every single time it's over $200 to install windshield wipers. And it's really annoying that it would cost that much just to put windshield wipers. And it takes premium gas. You can't use regular gas. It'll buckle, like it bucks if you put regular gas in. We tried it one time just to save money. That was a mistake because it did not run smooth at all. We were having all kinds of problems with it, and we come to find out that you can only use premium gas with it. It's just so. But I know that when I drive to Springfield for my internship this fall, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford gas to drive back and forth, unless I get a different vehicle. So I really want a Nissan Kicks. That's what I really want, but we'll see if there's any of those for sale. I know I rented a Nissan Kicks when I was in Arizona one time, and that was a fun car to drive. It was like the perfect size for me. It was small. It was like a compact vehicle, and just very comfortable to drive. I liked the setup of everything, so it would be nice to get one of those, but I mean, that's, when you're choosing to wait, to just buy one specific vehicle. Who knows if that vehicle is going to come for sale in the time frame that you want to buy it. So, I don't know. I mean, I would buy a Chevy Cruze. They're okay. Kind of leery about buying a Ford. I owned a Ford Escort several years ago, and that thing gave me nothing but trouble the entire time we had it. And we bought it like basically new. We bought it. I was in college when I bought it, and Joe and I bought it actually. So, well, it wasn't brand new because I think we bought it in 87. Or maybe it was 88. I think we bought it in 88 actually. But it was a 1986. And that vehicle, we had it for probably, Matt was born. So we had it until 1992 for sure. But it gave us nothing but heck the entire time we owned it. And then, like, I remember after Matt I think I was pregnant with Matt, and we had to replace the engine on it. And that was not fun. So, and then the engine didn't even last all that long, and then we traded it in for a different vehicle. So, okay. So this is the page that I did. This is day 2, and this is day 1. And I had these bow things, and I thought it might be nice to just put like the number in there. I thought that would be kind of cool. I have a whole bunch of those, and it's kind of nice and they're Christmassy. I mean, they're, So I think I'm going to do that. I did add some enamel dots. This one I added hearts. But I'm going to stick this one here. So I'm just trying to show you kind of like some different techniques I use, some different things that I do. Not really all that fancy. I use all the stuff that I have. I don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff whenever I make a December daily. I actually have not bought any scrapbooking supplies since last summer. And before that, I didn't really buy anything. Scott bought me a grab bag for Christmas from Scrapbooking for Less. I think, no, it was Peachy Cheap. He bought the Peachy Cheap grab bag, and I don't think that I'm going to have him get it. He has been getting it for me every year, but like every single year, it is less and less and less and less. This year, I got like a small envelope with not very much stuff in it at all, and it was like $35, and I'm like, I'm not paying $35 for a grab bag that's just got like a few items in it that I'm not even that thrilled to have. So next year I don't think I'm gonna do that. Hip Kit Club, I do like their grab bags. Theirs are pretty decent. Most of all, if I'm gonna shop online for scrapbook stuff, I generally shop at Scrapbooking for Less when they have their dollar sale, and they sell like full 12 by 12 sheets of stickers for $1, or two 12 by 12 pattern cardstock double-sided for sale for $1. And those are really good deals. So, but the last thing that I purchased that was this past summer was Shamel Lane came out with that new collection, and I wanted the paper pack from that collection, and that's all I bought, and I had to buy that from scrapbooks.com. So I did order it from that, and that was kind of nice because it was kind of a pleasant surprise because they send freebies with your order. So I only bought that paper pad, and I think it was like $20, and they sent me 2 stamp sets for free. So, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good deal. I know people buy from Temu or whatever it's called, buy scrapbooking supplies there. I have never ordered from Temu before, so I wouldn't know what the quality of their stuff is. I also have a friend who sells Creative Memories, but over the years, Creative Memories was what I started with back in 1999 when I started scrapbooking, and over the years I've evolved so much in my style and in the amount of money that I want to spend in my scrapbooking that I just very, very rarely order anything from her. I have gone to crops, but I haven't probably even been to a crop of hers in 10 years, just because I never really get as much done as what I want to, and I'm not the most social person. I mean, I do like I would enjoy scrapbooking with my friend alone, and I have before, and and we're chatting back and forth, and it's so fun. And even her daughter, she graduated college last year, and so this year was her first year teaching, and I've scrapbooked with my friend and her daughter before, and that was really fun. But like when a big group of people get together, it's almost too overwhelming for me. I don't know. I just have a really difficult time when there's a lot of talking going on and a lot of movement and it just is very, very distracting for me to stay focused. And those events cost money. Like when you go to those scrapbooking retreats and stuff like that, they cost a lot of money to go to. And if I'm not going to do any scrapbooking, then it just seems like it's not worth it to me. But I do like scrapbooking, like one-on-one with my friends. Occasionally I do have a couple friends that I scrapbook with. I used to scrapbook with my friend Michelle a lot. But then since her husband passed away, I don't think that she's scrapbooking anymore. She was the one who got me into scrapbooking in 1999. And then my friend Sarah scrapbooks, and we keep telling each other, oh, we need to get together and scrapbook again, but we haven't. And my friend Angela as well. We have scrapbooked together before too. And she keeps saying, oh, we need to get together and scrapbook. And you know how it is with friends. It's like, yeah, we'll do it, you know, and years go by and you don't get around to it. So, but anyways, that's basically it for this video. I just wanted to show you how I stamp my number stamps. And basically what I'll do is each day I will cut one out as I complete a layout. And I may like decorate it different. I could use colored pencils to color it in. I could use super fine glitter. I have like a touch of Stella pen I could use to make it like glimmery if I wanted to change it a little bit. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I could do. I also have these mists. I have these are from Tattered Angels. I have the gold and the silver glimmer mist that you can use just like Heidi Shine. It's pretty much the same thing. The gold is like the Heidi Shine. And so sometimes I use that as well. So I could like fleck that on there if I wanted to as well. And I might do that in the future, but so I think this is it for this video. I might actually upload this one tonight because I think I have time to upload it. And then that'll be this week's video because I really don't think that I'm going to have any time until next week to film a video. So, but the next video will be, it'll be a layout for sure. It'll be the next two. The next photos that I'm going to scrapbook are, remove these. Oh, I guess I didn't show you how this turned out as well. I did this and then I'm going to fill this in with like numbers. I haven't decided if I'm going to use like tiny number stickers, you know, the little Market Street or the Market Street square numbers. I might do that instead of writing the number in because I think they'll fit perfectly in those squares. And so I'm going to do that. The pictures that I'm going to scrapbook next that are on deck are this picture. This is day 3 and first hot chocolate of the year. And then here's a picture of my granddaughter Esmeralda. And she came over that next day. And then the next day I have, so this is day 3 and this is day 4. So we went to Bloomington for breakfast this day and we stopped at this store called Von Maur, which is like it's a department store that's not far from where we ate breakfast. We ate breakfast at this House of Pancakes. And they usually have really good sales on like kids' clothes and toys and things like that. Well, they had this little outfit with the hat and the little Christmas on there, and it says First Christmas on the hat. And they had that on clearance. and because apparently it was like last year's clear, it was like right before Christmas, but it was like, it must have been last year's stock because there were only a few of those. There wasn't a lot of them. And Jordan was expressing how much she loved that little outfit. So I bought him this. And she took these pictures under the tree of Corbin. And then I ended up buying a puppet book for Esme and Kaysen that I saved for Christmas for them. And I think that's it. I think that's all. Yeah. So I'll probably scrapbook these together. So this is Corbin and this is Esme. And they're my son Hunter's little kids. So, and then we have Minnie J and Kaysen. And then there's Lainey. And Lainey passed away. And you'll see here probably the day after that they did a tree lighting ceremony and they did a memorial tree for Lainey. And then Matt and Yessie are expecting Aria. So that those are all my grandchildren. But they're cutie pies. So she's spending the night tomorrow night. Or not tomorrow night, Friday night. So, and she's at this age, she's 2.5, and she's so fun. She's so fun to spend time with and do activities with and play Play-Doh and paint and do all the fun stuff with. You know, she's all into that kind of stuff. So I tried it when she spends the night. She spends the night about once a month. And so I try to like make sure that it's a big deal. The last time she spent the night, the next day we went to the Children's Museum and that was really fun. So, but I think I'm going to end the video here. But I thank you all for watching and I will see you back here, next week at your Not So Ordinary Scrapbook channel. Bye.